I feel like Coach.
This game's looking a little rough, guys.
Whoa. You look like, what is it, Kung Fu Panda, like that scene where he's on like under the cherry blossom tree or whatever?
That's what I was saying when it was blowing in. I was like,
yeah. I think you like float away into dust at some point too as well.
well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I hope so too.
That's how like
The camp seems good. I mean, I think I did watch some of the first season. I didn't get a chance to finish it, and I'm kind of playing up a little bit that I've seen less of it. Not that I'm thinking I'm going to really convince anybody that I'm not a big Survivor guy. I mean, none of us would be doing this for a weekend if we're not like really into Survivor. It seems like this is the better camp that we got. Jacob especially was like, yeah, this was the better beach, and it does seem like a good setup. From what I did watch from the first season though, and I don't know how the other camp is at all, we're in this little pocket. I don't know how the ice is ever going to break to go start talking to people. And again, I'm not really trying to rush that process because I don't want to be the one to step off first. I'm trying to blend in today as much as possible and just make sure that I'm not the one that goes home. So it's just going to be awkward, I feel like, with the setup of this camp. If we do unfortunately lose, how is that going to break down and how are we going to start to pull aside who's going to get voted off? Especially since as of right now, I think the problem our team's going to have is that nobody really deserves to be voted. I like all 6 of them. I know a lot of them also have connections to each other. So, you know, I would be worried about getting in a situation where I have to put myself out there too early to make sure that I stay for a vote. I'm excited. I'm nervous. You know, this is admittedly a pretty weird thing that we're all doing here, but it's really cool to be with a bunch of people that have such a similar passion. And I obviously share that passion too. So, you know what? I'm going to have fun this weekend. I hope that I end up winning. I hope that I play my cards right. And let's rock and roll on some Survivor.
Yeah! It's immunity and reward! Sending the STEM tribe to Tribal Council. Humanities wins immunity! Safe from Tribal Council!
It's just so dangerous how much I like my tribe. It's such a good thing, but it's also such a scary thing. Our chemistry, our synergy is through the roof right now. We're 2-0, we're feeling good. Everybody has a great personality, a great vibe. And, you know, it's just going to be really scary when that stops, because as soon as we have to start turning on each other, I have no idea. These are all, pretty much all big personalities, and we're all starting to get comfortable with each other. So now, at this point, if there is a vote, it's going to hurt a little bit. So it's almost becoming more important that we win the more that we keep winning.
First things first though, drop your bucks. We're switching tribes. Vega tribe is Nikki, Jay, Ryder, Sean, and Mark and Jacob. So we have 4 old humanities tribe and 2 old STEM.
I do like Mark. I would love an opportunity to work with him.
It was really cool to meet Ryder and Jay, and it was both really exciting and terrifying to learn as much information as I did. Way back at the very start of the game, before Jay was exiled, they nudged me and said they would be excited to work with me and hope we were on the same tribe. So right away, they were spilling all of their information to me, telling me about their legacy advantage, telling me all about the votes. And Ryder's clearly like very squeamish. He's gone through a lot in his first 2 tribals. He was giving us everything. And Jay even told me something very interesting, and I also got kind of confirmation of it at the challenge. So, oh yeah, like I told my whole other tribe that if I wanted to work with anybody over there, it'd be Mark. I don't know how to take that. That's terrifying that my name is being brought up in that light over there because it makes them thinking about me. I don't want people to think about me at all.
3rd person voted out of Survivor NCSU Season 2.
Wow, I couldn't even spell my full name. What the heck?
First tribal was tough. It was not fun doing that, and I felt really bad voting out Jay. Honestly, if I could completely have had it my way, I probably would have kept Jay here. I think she would have been an easier number for me to control than Ryder. But I like Ryder a lot too. He seems to get a good vibe from me. I think he's still pretty desperate, so it's still really just all about keeping the 4 original Daniels people here and intact, trying to reconnect with the rest of our old tribe, and trying to make sure I keep as many shields around me as possible. I don't know what Aziza being added to the tribe is going to bring. Obviously, we're all assuming she has an advantage like Jay did coming from exile. She already was not willing and open to share what anything she got was. So we want to avoid the next tribal at all costs and try to keep everybody together from this group.
Both tribes are going to Tribal Council after this challenge. Slow steady, Mark. Slow steady. Get ready to grab those pieces of rock. Daniel Wilson's time. Bring in sidewalk. Sidewalk. Vegas, good. Go. Sidewalk. And you get one more decision, Danimals. Who are you sending to Exile Island?
We're sending Aziza.
Aziza will get sent to Exile Island. However, Aziza, you do have one choice.
Okay.
You now get to choose one person from the winning tribe to save tonight at Tribal Council and join you on Exile Island.
That is crazy. I'm gonna take Quinn.
Quinn is gonna join Aziza on Exile Island. Quinn and Aziza are completely safe from this double Tribal Council today.
Ryan really threw us a curveball, sending us both to tribal council tonight, and I think this was the most panicked I've ever been, because especially depending on who they would have sent to exile, I think this would have been the perfect opportunity to try to make a move on me if it was ever going to happen. But luckily, I think that both the other tribe and Aziza misplayed the exile rule. I'm terrified of Aziza because I'm going to assume she has 2 advantages now, having gone to exile twice. And I know how tight the surviving original Vega people are going to end up being, but she should 100% have taken either Anna, Lindsay, or Jake with her to exile, because then she would have been able to give her tribe the majority for this vote, and it would have helped even out the numbers a lot more. So I don't know what she was thinking. I also don't know what they were thinking sending her instead of Quinn. If they would have sent Quinn and she had an idol, we would have had to eat one of our own. And then that was the scenario I was really worried about. They might have decided this is a good time to cut Mark before he can cut loose and get to the merge. So I will hopefully be happy about other people's mistakes and try to still survive this vote. So, as I said to both of you, we're going to be bigger personality players. I'd like to keep that. We're shields for each other. The longer that all 3 of us are here, the better it's going to be for us. As soon as one of us falls, we're much more exposed.
Exactly.
So I'm 100% good.
Mark, is this vote clear cut in that we all love Ryder and we're so sad that Ryder had to go to all the tribal councils, but it is 4 old humanities versus 1 STEM?
Well, I started calling Ryder La Cucaracha because he's my cockroach and he just does not die at tribal council at all. So he fought his ass off and he has a pitch and he had a very clear-cut mission on why he should be saved. But I told him, and I think we all told him, we've been a good original Daniels tribe. We will hear you, but it's gonna be tough.
4th person voted out of Survivor and CSU Season 2, Ryder. Please bring me your torch. Drop your buffs. We are now merged. For this challenge, we will be racing all the way down to a table. There are 5 plates with 5 different items, collections of items. You're going to count each individual item. When you have your counts, you'll come back and you'll each have an answer card. You put down all 5 correct numbers on your answer card and you win individual immunity. Mark wins individual immunity! Safe from tribal council! First individual immunity win is yours. You cannot vote Mark out at this next tribal council. As for the rest of the 9 of you, 1 of you will be going home. All right, head back to camp. See you at tribal.
This is going to be the best part of the day. I just made merge. I'm the first individual immunity winner, and it's an awesome thing to know that through all the chaos this tribal is about to be, I can just sit back and really line up my soldiers the right way. I think this is a very important vote to be safe at. Everything is going to break right now, no matter what, because I can't imagine 3 of them coming from Old Vega are going to do nothing and just lay down and die. So something's going to shift, something's going to move right now, and it's going to be on me to take advantage of this and lead my forces the right way, figure out the exact path I want to take for the rest of this game. I'm like, just tell me what to do.
Hello.
Oh gosh. You guys feeling okay?
Yeah. We're concerned about Jake because
In what way?
Lindsay doesn't trust him.
Which is fair from her.
I don't trust him.
Okay.
Nick doesn't trust him. Caleb doesn't trust him.
Okay.
Like, we are kind of thinking maybe we don't do all Daniel's final 7 and we get Jake on there.
My mission for this vote is to try to get myself, Caleb, Jacob, Lindsay, and any other stragglers in that, outside of that core, all on the same page. Because I think the only people that could even potentially be seen as bigger threats than me at this point are Caleb, Jacob, and maybe Lindsay. So I need them here as long as possible, and I'm going to try to make sure they don't go home. I also might even throw Aziza into that mix because there is so much fear over her strategic mind, over her chances to get advantages in exile. I think that I'm never going to necessarily be able to get on the same page as her because I'm going to try to sit back and listen as tribal, and I think a lot of my old tribe's going to want to try to get her out. But if I can somehow find a way to build a relationship with her enough that she doesn't think she should look at me first, her being here for a couple more rounds is probably going to be good for me.
Do you want to do a tribe named Mertz? Ryan Mertz is Jeff Brode's Merch tribe.
I'm down.
MERTZ?
I'm down.
Okay.
I'm down. This was the most chaotic camp has ever been, and I just feel really lucky that I have allies. It's also easier to have allies when they know they can't touch you right now. So I hope that I'm just going to start building good relationships off of this, and it might be a first really big blindside and betrayal, but hopefully it's going to set me up to hide for a lot of this game. I was thinking today about my dad, and he would say, strive for mediocrity. Strive for mediocrity. And after I have to give this back up, I think that's going to be my plan for the rest of the game. What he meant by strive for mediocrity was be patient, be calm. As long as you still have a seat, you have a chance to win it all. And that's going to be my philosophy as I try to keep shields in this game. They're going to stay with me, so I'm in control of them, and then I can try to hopefully cut them one by one.
The 6th person voted out of Survivor NCSU Season 2 and the first member of our jury. Jake, please bring me your torch.
Pull some straws. I'm still really worried that the 3 girls from my original tribe are really connected together and might decide that I'm just too big of an obstacle to have in the way. So I have my eye on different things. So this is the most out of control I've felt going into a vote thus far. And I think it's coming from a place of being cautious that the plan that I am actually going to do is the simple one. And that just never feels good because we're going to go split on Aziza and Quinn. And I really want Aziza out right now because I have no relationship with her yet because we didn't get to play together. And I just, it's a variable I can't control as well. So hopefully it all goes according to the simple plan. That's what I want. I want to hold off the big moves for at least one more round. But I am very nervous about the girls and if there's something that I'm just not being told.
Because if we don't do it first, someone else is going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if any other, who else would it be? Because it's tough, because we're at the point, which is the point we wanted to get to, that we're going to have to say the name of somebody who's on our original tribe.
It is tough.
We don't have to talk about it now, because we have another big vote ahead of us, and I know you're safe for it.
Yeah.
But know that I'm still trying to
see, but my mind is already thinking.
Right, we should get that luxury, which is again, if you already have, because I honestly even kind of, I'm jumpy right now too. It's the first merge group that
I'm super
haven't
jumpy.
been,
and I'm fucking
safe for.
It's not good.
But like I said, if there's anybody that you're thinking already for next, as long as you and I agree on what the move is, I think we'll be able to make that decision. I think unless there's something that's already been in motion you tell me about, I don't think we're gonna have time to change it. But if you've already heard of somebody else trying something new...
Well, here's the thing. I blew smoke up their asses.
Right.
But if we wanted, we could make that a reality.
What'd you blow?
So I told them it would be Anna.
Interesting. Okay.
Just because I didn't want them to think, play in that old...
Okay. My gut says no, but if you really want to actually do it, I'm with you. A little mini confessional. I don't want to do that at all. I think that'd be horrible for me.
You can film on the way too.
Whatever. This absolutely cannot be a reaction until we come back from this driving again. I have heard your name, just so you know.
The 7th person voted out of Survivor NCSU Season 2 and the 2nd member of our jury. Aziza, please bring me your torch.
I came fully down to the middle of that swing vote, and my gut instinct is to actually be terrified by that people are going to wake up and say, why is Mark in the middle of all of this mess? He's winning immunities, we all like him so much. I have to think, surely this can't last.
I cannot believe that you just beat me in that stupid challenge.
It was neck and neck, and genuinely, this just kind of eased any nerves, but
I was I'm so shaky.
yeah, I'm literally
We need to just get through this. Again, I'm pretty much going to stay by your side for the rest of this vote, and we're going to just go through, because if we work as a front, they can't flip anything on us.
Nope.
And we can just go do Caleb, and that way we still have Sean with us, and we can figure out next vote.
I'll say no one's told me your name ever.
Okay.
So,
okay.
No one's
and
ever
I said,
told me
I've
your
told
name.
you when I've heard yours, and to this point, it's still been just barely whispers, but I need you to know that it is starting to pick
coming.
up.
It's
so
coming.
we're going to make our move to protect you sooner rather than later.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I think it's the classic trope of be careful what you wish for, because on the one hand, I feel like I'm in the exact position I wanted to be in, where I feel like Jacob and I are perfectly in the middle, and there's two very set groups that should be feuding right at each other. So I'm not necessarily in a huge panic mode for this tribal, but anything can happen, and I'm unprotected without a necklace, and I know I'm a big threat, so I start to hear different murmurs. There's less places to hide, there's less people that are still playing. It just becomes more and more likely every minute that it's me that finally gets targeted. And so I'm hoping that if everything can go my way, this will be the maybe last time that I really try to take a seat back. I think my safest path and the path that I feel most comfortable with is with the girls that I voted with at last tribal, but I can't help but shake the feeling that I would be the odd man out of that group when push comes to shove.
8th person voted out of Survivor NCSU, and the 3rd member of our jury, Jacob. Please bring me your torch. Who is most likely to get on Real Survivor? The correct answer is Mark. Nikki, Mark, and Sean get a point. Who is most likely to win the game? Correct answer is Mark. Lindsay, Anna, Nikki, and Sean get a point.
Here's my thing, like, is there any reason we need, if we do Lindsay night, I feel like we'd have to do Caleb next. I don't want Caleb, because I'm not bullshitting those 3 girls when I'm worried about the original Vega people slipping too far. Because I think if any of them sits next to either of us,
If we do
I don't
Lindsay now, we
think
can do
we'd
Caleb
win.
next.
Okay, let me think about it.
I think right now Mark is the swing vote. It's really, does he think he can survive with the 3 girls, or does he think he can survive with the guys? And if Mark is right,
And if we let, this is exactly what Vega wants. Someone's saying your name for the future. People are saying your name. I'm sure people are saying my name. And people are saying Sean's name. We're pointing our guns at each other.
Yeah.
And if we fire too soon, we will all lose.
Because we're gonna lose our numbers. We've got to get out Vega.
I know that it's hard to have faith in the bigger players when we're this late. But damn it, I will not let Quinn or Caleb win this game.
No.
That's just not gonna fly with me.
No, I agree.
And so for that to happen, we need to stay together at least one more time. You know, the game I feel like I've been playing, I was kind of aware and at least making the cautious assumption that they were thinking I was probably the biggest threat to win this game, but I've seen it written, literally written now, and I'm proud that the game I've been playing from the very start has been about creating chaos, making sure other people dislike somebody else and are more threatened by somebody else more so than me. It's about the pressing issue, and that's the point I keep going across. And so even though it did suck to lose Jacob, the good news is, for as much of a threat as I am, it still seems to be a 3-3. And even within that 3-3, they're starting to talk about each other. Caleb's talking about Sean. Anna's talking about Nikki. Everybody's saying everybody's name at this point, and that's how it should be for the rest of the game. So right now, if an original Vega hopefully goes home, I can hopefully continue to hide behind the infighting. I'm worried that with each domino that continues to fall, and there's less room to hide, finally, someone says, what about Mark? Because that's gonna happen, and I need to be ready for it, and there's nothing I can do to ever 100% prepare. I am counting on the fact that there is enough distrust right now between the other actions that have been taken that nobody has time to deal with the Mark problem yet, and they will not have time until it's too late.
9th person voted out of Survivor NCSU Humanities vs. STEM, and the 4th member of our jury, Caleb. Please bring me your torch. Leaving only Mark and Lindsay. So you have to live transition from your foot that is on the ground to only your toes, and your heel cannot touch the ground on that foot. We'll be transitioning in 3, 2, 1. No heels on the ground. Mark drops out of this challenge. Lindsay wins individual immunity.
If the 4 of us sit here and we don't talk to anybody else, we could split the vote too.
Mark, are you confident at this tribal council?
Right now, I'm not really in the energy to be focused on confidence. I tried really hard in that last immunity, and I kind of hurt my leg a good bit, and I think just that was kind of the catalyst of crashing for the whole weekend. I'm feeling really dehydrated, I'm feeling kind of sick, so I was really appreciative that, especially with the last couple of votes we've had, we kind of all just sat together, and just, you know, it was nice for me because I don't think I could have run around the woods at all, and so I'm feeling a little bit confused, obviously, and I know it's still a pivotal vote, but you know, I need to try to find a way to snap my mind back into it, because right now I just feel, after that challenge and after this crash, I don't even know how to articulate myself.
10th person voted out of Survivor NCSU Humanities vs. STEM and the 5th member of our jury. Sean, please bring me your torch. For this challenge, everyone is going to have a card. And on that card is the name of a jury member. We're going to ask you a series of questions, such as, who has this? Who has that? Who did that? Who did this? And you're going to answer with the name of the jury member. The first to get 5 correct answers wins immunity and is safe at the next tribal council, which will happen right after this challenge. Are you ready to get into this challenge?
Yeah.
Correct answer is Caleb. Mark wins individual immunity. All right, congratulations, Mark. You cannot vote out Mark. Everyone else is fair game. So Mark, since you won this challenge, do you think that you were able to better socialize with the members on the jury?
I would not say the word better, because I think that's unfair, but I do feel like there's pretty much everybody on that jury that I was very intentional in forming some relationships with, and sometimes my memory can be okay when I need it to be, and I knew how important wearing this right now was, and so I'm glad I was able to step up.
11th person voted out. Survivor NCSU.
Great game, Glenn.
I have played the best game here, socially, strategically, and physically. These girls know it. Everybody needed me in this game. I controlled the pre-merge. I became the swing vote at crucial times because everyone needed my vote. And I was never targeted in this game because everyone needed my vote. Now at the very end, these girls finally don't need me anymore. I made a deal with 3 devils, letting these girls gain control over me in exchange for my safety in this game. And it was all to gamble on this last challenge. Just like I wanted, it all comes down to this, to see if I can win Survivor NC State.
Mark, the last obstacle for the Girls Alliance, whose charisma, charm, and challenge wins have made him a leader in an important swing vote. This is all about willpower and strength. You will be in a plank position. In different intervals, we will make it harder and harder and harder. Last one to stay in a plank position will win immunity, will be safe at Tribal Council, and will be guaranteed a spot in the final 3. Pretty solid. Lindsay is out of this challenge, has no shot at winning immunity. We are down to 3. We have Mark. Nikki drops out of this challenge. Nikki has no chance at getting immunity. Mark's shaking, but he's keeping a good position. Anna's readjusting, trying to find a sweet spot. Anna's shaking a little bit. Mark's still vigorously shaking, but staying in it. Anna's starting to shake more now. Anna, out of this challenge. Mark wins individual immunity. Safe at Tribal Council. Guaranteed a spot in the final 3. For the 3rd and final time, Mark cannot be voted out at Tribal Council. He is safe, and he is guaranteed a spot in the final 3.
Let's go! I bet on myself. My plan has worked perfectly this entire game. This is exactly where I wanted to be. I will have 0 votes ever cast against me, 3 individual immunity wins, the swing vote at almost every single vote. I could not have asked to play a better game of Survivor. And this is just so reaffirming because I've always felt like this was the game for me. You know, I'm such a competitive guy and I, would love to be the best at something. And that's why I fell in love with Survivor, because I saw this and I was like, that's what you can be the best at. And to come out here and play perfectly, I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. I bet on myself. I put myself in a position where I would be able to be the favorite going into a final immunity challenge where I needed to win because otherwise I was too big of a threat. I think the entire jury sees the incredible game I played. I am very ready to articulate it to them. And I love all 3 of those girls so much. And it does suck to see them have to infight and cut one of their own and probably feel like they can't beat me. But that's what I was here for, was to beat them. And
it makes this weekend so great. It makes it feel so worth it. And gosh, I'm just so ready to like do it for real. I feel like I have to go fly to Fiji now and put on an absolute clinic, because I don't know what I would have ever done differently at all. This went completely to plan. Yeah, you were gonna vote me out.
So, as long as you're not gonna hold down on me,
Yeah, we are. I've said for a while that, I've said pretty much since around the time Jacob left, with the situation I knew I was in, I have to feel comfortable and confident enough that I can beat anybody. So to me, it just can't matter. Like, if one of you three already has me beat, fine. You know, I don't think anybody can say there's anything else I could have done.
Yeah.
So if I've already lost, I've already lost.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go in there and try to win.
Yeah.
And I played this whole game with you. I've meant every second of it.
Yeah.
So you can just tell me where you and Lindsay are definitely lockstep. My only other thing is if you have any fear that they're gonna try to flip on you just because, I don't know, our dynamic, maybe, I don't know.
that is a fear.
Mark, do you feel like it was the sheer will that you knew you needed to win this one that won you this challenge?
Yeah, 100%. And I'm excited for everybody else on the cast to see the audible groans and moans that were coming out of my body as I tried to hold myself up. These girls were pretty upfront with me, and I, of course, as I should, did my best to see if I could build a contingency plan if I didn't win immunity. But the four of us have had a really great rapport throughout this whole game. And so from that relationship, there was an understanding that if I didn't win this immunity, it would be very hard for me to save myself.
Mark, how do you take in all these pitches? Like, what are you looking for in the vote?
Yeah, well, I'm very glad we ended on that note too, because I think an underrated part of getting the opportunity to win this last immunity necklace, other than the fact that it probably saved me, was that it kind of gives me a free moment right now to look at them for the first time, since I know that I'll be there. And I have long said, as I've watched my game unfold, that I need to face those 6+1 able to beat anybody there. Because what I've already done. And the way the game shook out, I know that I was probably one of the more slimy players. I think that was just the luck of the draw. And no matter what the opinion might be on a lot of the people sitting over there feeling like I had their back and then I didn't, I am prepared to own that 200% and defend it, because I think it got me to where I am right here with a chance to win.
So for this vote out, are you looking more to add someone to the jury that will vote for you, or to make sure you're next to two people that have no chance at winning against you?
Well, as many people over there know, a lot of these votes have felt like, what is Mark gonna just write down over there? And so I feel like it's appropriate to leave it at that one last time.
12th person voted out of Survivor and CSU Season 2,
Hi, guys.
and the
This is
7th and final
wonderful.
member of our jury. Nikki, please bring me your torch.
The only thing we have to do is try to figure out how to sell ourselves to the jury. I mean, I just am so happy this is the way that it went. And I know a lot of it was luck, but I really do feel like a lot of it was me executing on exactly what I wanted to do. I said from the very beginning of the game, I wanted to make sure I protected big personalities. There was always somebody else that had a logical reason why they were more dangerous. And I think those points were able to be put across because of the connections and relationships that I built with everybody on this cast. And that's what I'm gonna go try to say to the jury. I'm gonna own up to the fact that I was a little bit of a flip-flopper and somebody that, you know, kind of played the game dirty-ish, but I'm gonna try to implore them to see that if you take a step back, I stayed with 4 players of my original tribe the whole game. And in the process, I won 3 immunity idols and never had a vote cast against me, and was arguably a deciding swing vote in almost every single merge boot. I'm very proud of the way that I played, and no matter what happens, I'll still be proud because I couldn't have asked for this to go any other way.
All right, Mark, your opening statement.
Well, as I sort of started to talk about last Tribal, I think my mission is going to be owning my game. And I want to start doing that by explaining what my strategy was coming into the very first second we all saw each other on Friday. I was very, very aware of how big of a personality I am, and I thought my mission throughout this whole game was to try to hide that as long as possible. So from the very get-go, I decided that I wanted to keep as many other big personalities around me as possible, so that way as we continue to progress step by step, there would be other shields in front of me that would take those stray bullets and leave me still standing. And I would say I'm proud of the way I executed that strategy, and I think I did it very well. As far as the mantras of this game, I believe that, obviously outlasted by coming to Final Four with my initial intended Final Four from my original Daniels tribe, successfully wiping out the Vega tribe. I outlasted and outplayed by hustling in immunity challenges. I was the only person to win multiple immunity challenges, and I won 3 of them. And I even won the last one to get myself here in this spot. I also was successful in helping my team win 2 pre-merge immunities on the first day, which I think helped set my course of having extra majority protection to go through the rest of this game. And I'm also very proud of my social game, because I think even as we saw in that Final 5 immunity, where I knew you guys the best to end up winning that, I was very deliberate and intentional in the relationships I built with you guys to make sure I was in that position to be in the middle, to know where the different sets of power were trying to put votes. And I think at almost every tribal council post-merge, it was me and a few others that had the decision on where the vote was going to go. I made it through this whole game without a single vote cast against me. I again have won 3 immunities, and I believe I built the strongest relationships with people sitting here, and I think you should vote for me to win.
Mark, I am so impressed that you are here. You were the biggest threat. I don't understand how you made it, so you have my vote, honestly.
By the grace of God.
Oh my God, okay, anyway. I think you were the biggest, I just don't understand how much, you've won so many immunity idols, so social with everybody. He was hugging on everybody. Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm here. Like, on you. He is the biggest threat. How did you miss that?
I don't know how you weren't nervous this whole game after people put you to win and you stayed in that position till the end of the game. So props to that for keeping your composure. I just wish you guys would have tried to stir something up a little bit more since we're all trying to win here, but I still think you guys got here, which you should be proud of, so good job.
All right, Mark, your closing speech?
So I think I'll start my closing speech with asking us all to kind of take a step back, look at where we are right now, and realize that we just spent an entire weekend indulging ourselves in a game that we all love. Nobody would be here right now holding a camera or sitting somewhere if you weren't an absolute passionate fan of this game. And I think the game that I played is the one that most represents the game that we do love, and therefore I should be the winner of our second NC State season. You make a great comment, Nikki, about broken promises, and I've said many times that I want to look you guys all right in the eye and own that type of game that I played, because I think that it helped me build all those social relationships to be able to maneuver the way that I needed to. To my knowledge, and I may even have had more, I had spoken or unspoken Final 2s with Nikki, Jacob, Sean, Caleb, and Anna, and I might have even made comments to other people along the way. That led me to a point where I was able to play a social game so strong that I never received a single vote against me the entire time. To cap that all off, I won 3 immunities, nobody else won multiple, and I was on the right side of every single vote, often being the center swing vote. If that doesn't earn the respect of a Survivor fan, I will still be happy for the rest of my life. But when I did this with you guys, this is how I played. And I think you should vote for me, and I think that I'd be the great winner for Survivor NC State Season 2.
The winner of Survivor NCSU Season 2